You're listening to This Week in Property. Stay current, relevant and up to date in the world of property investment. Learn from the UK's leading property professionals and grow your property business.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Property. I am your host Richard Swan and you are going to love today's show. I have just sat down with a group of 4 superstars that I managed to kidnap from ALG's very own Platinum Mastermind group. They were just about to get stuck into their work for the day and I managed to grab them off into a room, smuggle them in there and get them around the microphone. These are the formats that I really enjoy when we do the podcast. It's a kind of a talk panel show. Because the great thing is it's not just a one-on-one, it's a group of people. So you're talking about different angles, perspectives, experiences, locations, backgrounds, all sorts of things. So for you, the listeners, that's perfect because you're all different. You are at different parts of your journey, you've got different levels of experience, you might be an expert in one area, but you've never dabbled in another area. There's so much to do in the property world. You might be a complete beginner. You follow the podcast because you don't know what you want to do in property. You're researching, you're catching up on things, and that's where you can get a ton of ideas from people like this. Because when it's people like this, when they're from the Platinum Training Group within ALG, these are the people in the trenches. They're actually doing this work every single day. True professionals, not just, you're reading a book and you've got a wee idea about how something might work. They're doing it. So they've got lessons learned, they've got ideas, they've got tactics, they've got the fast track way of doing things, and they're from all different parts of the country and they're involved in all different areas of property investing. So you're talking, off the top of my head, you're talking from buy-to-lets to buy-to-flips to serviced accommodation to building portfolios for investors. We've got tactics and strategies for first-time buyers. We've got experience with UK investors and international investors. They've got their finger on the pulse with their own specific areas and their cities across the UK, and they give their honest opinions and feedback and experiences of what they're seeing, what they're actually seeing in the market, what they're coming up against. I also get them to review last year. How did it go for them? Get their personal stories out of them. What were the ups and downs? What were the lessons learned? And when they look forward, where are they going? What are they focused on? What are the things that they're thinking about? Forecasts about interest rates, opinions, you name it. Great chat. I really love these kind of shows because, as I say, it gives you tons and tons of perspective. So around the table today, I was very privileged to have Gavin Bateman, Cheryl Gallagher, Laura Noble and Ross Dougan. And I'm very grateful for the time that they gave and for the service that they're giving you as a listener with all of their experiences. So without further ado, let's go and hear them. Right, so I have dragged 4 victims, or volunteers as I like to call them, out of this Platinum event that we are running this week in the ALG offices. Thanks very much for taking part, guys. Just a nice wee talk panel show to touch in with you and get your opinions on things and how the property world is these days. No doubt the listeners will be keen to hear your own experiences. We've got some real quality experts here in different fields of property, which is cool. Some different perspectives and angles, which is good. But for the listeners, we'll do a wee kind of round the table thing. Can you give them your full name and the area that you're coming from in this great land?
My name's Gavin Bateman and I cover the Manchester area, mainly the north east, northwest of Manchester.
Great stuff.
Cheryl Gallagher, and I'm focused in Glasgow and around the West End, East End and just the South Side, just touching on those areas.
All the posh bits.
Yes.
Talking to posh, next lady.
Laura Noble, and I focus on serviced accommodation in Glasgow.
Yes.
Ross Dougan, based in Glasgow, but I usually cover within an hour of Glasgow and also up in Aberdeen and places like that as well.
The nomad of the group.
Yeah.
Superb. Great stuff, guys. Brilliant to have you. We'll just have a nice wee chat about things. So to kick off, I was thinking about looking back, because obviously we're now just running into 2018 at full pelt. You guys are here to meet with the directors of the company and do this wee Platinum event and plan obviously loads and loads of things for the year ahead. But Gavin, with yourself, how do you kind of look back on last year for yourself? Has it been hectic? Have you been focusing on a particular strategy or tactic or area within the property world? Have you been beating yourself up? Have you been patting yourself in the back? How would you view it?
2017 I think was a bit of a slow year. That's I established myself in April, so getting everything together and starting up took a few months really. A lot of lessons learned along the way. I feel 2018 has been better already, and that's only within the last few weeks.
That's interesting.
So things are starting to pick up. It did take me a long time to get my momentum, but with the advertising, leaflets, letters,
right.
But now it seems to be all starting to pay off. So the end of 2017, beginning of 2018 is now starting to all click together.
Excellent. So is it the sourcing? Is that what you're talking about the leaflets, talking about the marketing?
Yeah.
It's doing property sourcing.
Yeah, mainly the sourcing. Yeah, but now I'm starting to get direct to vendors with big units. So,
right. Okay.
which I much prefer than single
Do you?
single units. Yeah, because obviously it's much more rewarding.
Yes. Those returns
Yeah.
that we love to hear. Yes.
And buy to flips are hopefully starting this year. There is a plan in place now for all of that to start. kicking off.
Right. Okay.
So,
Doing that as well.
yeah.
Okay, doc.
So-
Any worries about being diluted and dragged here and there, or you got a kind of clear plan in your mind?
Yeah, more so now. I think it was more. 2017 was more of a learning curve for me. I think I did stumble a few times.
Sure.
To get back on the road, get back on the path, as they say. Stay on that mountain, as Billy says.
Brilliant. Cheryl, the lady who's never stumbled in her life ever. How was 2017 for you?
2017 was a bit of a mixed year because it was obviously my first year in property. If I was to sum it up, it would probably just be a whole year of learning.
Yeah.
And getting into immersing yourself with all the information that we're taught here, and actually getting out in the field as well, and doing a mix of both. So it took me a while to find the direction that I was going to go in.
Right.
And obviously focusing on cash flow
Right.
was a big thing for me as well that year. So I have other things in place to focus on cash flow to allow me to then solely focus on property for long term, so that I don't need immediate cash flow from property just now. I can do flips. Working with first time buyers as well, so that was good to get that in place.
Right.
And
Excellent.
find my direction last year by working with first time buyers and doing the mortgage free strategy with people as well.
Excellent.
Then got my first service accommodation with Laura as well. At the end of last
Fantastic.
year, which was good. So that was nice just to put that in the mix for the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers in a lot of pies here. Superb. Yes, Laura, our well-known service accommodation queen. Had you on the show before.
Yeah.
How is that world? Are you going to now tell us, oh, it's a nightmare, I scrapped a lot of it, I've sold everything, don't listen to me?
No. 2017 started off, I only had one serviced accommodation, and that wasn't my focus at all. It was just an extra income that I never really thought too deeply about. I was just quite enjoying the money coming in, and the flat was busy. And then towards the end of the year I realised that that's what I should be focusing on, because I started to see when you go through the summer months how busy, like probably from April till October, that's when all the real money came in.
Right,
The
okay.
rest of the years you kept going and you're busy enough.
Just kind of ticking over type thing, is it? Right, okay.
But when you actually see the bookings that came in from April to October, especially July, August, September.
Was those kind of holiday things, was it? And what was the demographic? Who are those people? Was it a whole mixture? Was it holidays?
Mixture.
Was it business? It was just a whole mixture?
Total mixture. Quite a lot. There was a lot of bookings that were maybe like 12 days, 14 days, 3 weeks. So you kind of tend to get nearly 100% occupancy through
Right.
those months.
Fantastic.
And looking at the bookings that we've got in for this year, for July, it's just through the roof from last year.
Really, already? Is that right? Fantastic. And we had you on the last time you were kind of preparing to launch the one in Glasgow, in the city centre, that is.
Yep.
Off and running? Yep.
Up and running, and we've got a second city centre one, which is the one with Cheryl.
So that's the one we should right, okay, dokes. And what are we talking there? Is it a flat? Is it a...
Both flats, city centre.
Right.
Merchant City, actually,
It's
within
Merchant City.
walking distance of each other, both of them,
Tremendous.
and walking distance of George's Square, so really central.
How did that one come about for the both of you? Did someone spot it already? Did you already have it in your books? What was the kind of plan that brought it together?
Well, I had raised some finance,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to put it into something that would get us a long-term return, a very good one.
Right.
And it wasn't a huge amount of finance, so it was limited as to what you could do with it.
Uh-huh.
But I knew you could do service accommodation with it. I knew Laura was doing that very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sourced property myself. We got it all up and running, and
Did you?
now Laura's managing it all. Yeah.
Fantastic. Those cleaners are busy then.
Mm-hmm.
And they still talking to you. It's all work. It's all work. Talking to the opposite of work, Ross, basically 2017 for you, as far as I could see from social media, was holidays. You know, you're in America, you're in Europe, you're basically everywhere. Is that how it was for you? Yeah, just chilling, relaxing?
Yeah, I'd like it to be. 2017, the difference has just been crazy.
Yeah.
So close to a decade, I've always been focused on building my own portfolio, never done it for other people. Towards the end of 2016, started sourcing deals for others. In 2017, the whole year started doing it for people, hands-free, from sourcing to refurbishment to letting, staging, the whole works.
Wow.
But this year, I've seen, I want to pull back a bit, have a few clients for that service, but mainly focus my building team on my own projects.
Right.
But at the same time, be able to help more people by a couple of coaching groups, one for first-time buyers,
Mm-hmm.
one of a more premium one that is a more advanced property investment, things like that. So that's where I see myself going. That's what I've kind of started already in 2018.
Excellent. And why did you do the shift? Were you getting dragged here, there and everywhere? Were you...
So being able to help much more people, but it taking actually less time, because when you're in the coaching kind of model with the systems you've got online now, you could teach for 1 hour, train somebody, it goes out to 100 people at once.
Of course.
Whereas when you're doing it for hands-free for someone, you've maybe got 1 hour with them
Yeah.
doing high level things, but when you're doing it hands-free for them, your team's taking all the noise, and there's maybe another 100 hours in the back end for that one client.
Of course.
Well, at a minimum. So being able to help more people, but with less time, and just makes much more sense.
Definitely, that kind of volume and the numbers, just
Yeah.
looking at it. And did it come from a period of having a review? Did you sit back and think, let me have a proper look at this business?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think even if you charge really high fees, once you take off expenses, if projects get delayed, when you look at it in numbers, when you do it for yourself, when it's high figures, and once you do it for someone else and it's maybe 10% of that, or
Right.
20%, you think, is it worth it? When it just focus more on doing it yourself. Okay, have a few premium clients that have got big goals, or maybe not looking to do one property, they're looking to do 10, and they're looking to do it quick, they're cash buyers, things like that.
Right.
You can really move fast on. But for other people that are maybe just looking for their first property or their first investment, or even going more high level but they want to do it themselves, is being able to coach them and mentor them to do it.
Okay. Now that might lead on to my next question. That might be your biggest lesson learned during the year. Have a wee think if there's anything else. But same for you guys. Is there one particular thing or something in mind that, I see that one, that was my lesson. God, I learned that one. It might have been a sore one, like, Jesus, I lost out in that one, or I kind of lost that investor or whatever. Have a wee think on that kind of front, because all you spoke, interestingly enough, 2017 is this learning part of the puzzle, is getting things together for yourself. So with these, we've got thousands of listeners who might be like you and have a good bit of experience, but most of them, they might be just, they're listening to these podcasts because they want to start, they want to get involved in property. And if they can learn some of the wee mistakes, or, well, if you do this first, it might get you on quicker, it's going to be a service to them. For you, Gavin, is there anything that kind of pops into mind?
Yeah, there was a lot with the marketing. I wish I started that a lot sooner.
Really?
Yeah, I was always worried about the cost. I shouldn't have been worried about the cost. I should have just got on with the letters and literally done them myself.
Right.
My first batch of letters, that brought me 4 deals.
Seriously?
That was out of 500 letters,
Tremendous.
which I'd done myself, which I wouldn't do that again. So, there's websites out there, isn't there? There's companies out there that can do the letters for you.
Sure.
Doc Mail or a local company,
Uh-huh.
and then you could it's a lot cheaper to do it that way. Again, I should have researched that a lot more.
Right.
Every time I see those photos of people online stamping envelopes, I just want to scream because I'm like, .mail, put the Excel spreadsheet. Well, I didn't even done it. I've got the VA to copy and paste addresses into a spreadsheet,
Right.
and then she attached it to .mail,
Right.
and all I did was basically pay £150 or something in about a minute, and it was signed.
Aye. So it's that whole time, money, everything getting stacked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's websites as well, for getting addresses. I mean, you can pay a website PPH, and I paid an Indian £40, and he gave me 1,000 addresses in Manchester.
Is that right? There you go.
On an Excel spreadsheet, exactly the way the distributor company wanted it laid out. So £40 for that, £100 for the letters, done, and I'm having a cup of tea.
Exactly. And those deals are just making their way towards
But
it.
it took me many months to go through and realise that was the easiest way.
Of course. And that's the thing, that's what I mean by that. Someone can listen to someone else's story and right, okay, so I shouldn't do it that way. I can do it quicker this way, or cheaper this way, or faster this way, whatever. Right, okay. So there's a bit of outsourcing there, which is a great skill. And then, as you say, it was a time when you wish you hadn't kind of held off so long. You'd looked at the cost rather than the return you're going to get. Okay, docs. If I jump over to Laura, anything that pops up for you as a wee lesson learned?
Take a deposit from guests.
Oh, right, okay. That one sounds a bit sore. Any horror stories there? Or just oh god.
A few parties. I mean, with having a penthouse that's a serviced accommodation, I mean, you're kind of inviting people to have a party.
Of course.
So, a few times, with Airbnb, you don't take a deposit because you go back to Airbnb and tell them.
Oh, that's right, aye.
That. Like if the guest has not been a good guest, if they've trashed anything, like you kind of mark up what the deposit will be if there's any damage, and then Airbnb just go in and take the money out of their account.
Yeah.
But with Booking.com, you have to tell the guest that there's a deposit, but Booking.com don't take it, so you've got to take it personally, either in cash or like bank transfer or PayPal.
Ah, right,
so
okay.
when I started using Booking.com, it took me a wee while to learn everything. So that was one of my lessons.
Right, and jumping back to the Airbnb then, so what's the avenue for you there? Are you just not able to take the deposit? Or is there a way around it? Or
no, you just, if there's any damage, you go back to Airbnb.
Aye, so it is after?
So it's after
right.
I have, but whereas with Booking.com it's before.
You're going to have to do that before, okay. Now, your new business partner Cheryl, who's just left screaming she doesn't want to do service accommodation anymore after hearing that. Not at all. Cheryl, what's popped up for you?
I think the key thing for me was just focus. If I look back, at the start of the year, and I wasn't really sure what avenue to go down, and then once you get focused on one, because we're in this mastermind group, and you're around so many other property investors who are doing so many different things, and
of course
they're doing ones that are getting cash flow straight away, and you're not, and then so many people. There's so many things that you can do in property that you can just jump about. If you jump about, obviously you don't get consistency and focus and discipline in one, so you don't get results. So
sure,
like this year, it's just massive focusing on the one strategy to get the results, and just building up the consistency and momentum, because you can get so far and then drop the ball, and it's really hard to get back up.
Yeah.
And moving from different strategies, you're taking yourself with you, so wherever you go, it's not going to work if you don't stay focused.
Of course, yeah. The two things that pop into my head while you're talking there, one is what's the old proverb, when the man who chases two chickens catches none or something, but all I really heard was the director Paul McFadden screaming, "What the focus are you talking about?" which is one of his trademarks, of course. Brilliant. Ross, did we cover your biggest thing when I was talking about your reviewing and changing your strategy, or did you think of anything else?
So I'd say at the end of the year, I really thought that one of my biggest learnings was the power of contracts and not really doing business with people without everything in writing, because I'm very much want to move forward fast, take verbal agreements and think you trust people, all the rest of it. But it's amazing if things aren't set in writing by a lawyer up front. If you have the contracts up front, it prevents so much with the clauses.
Right.
But if you don't have it, then obviously people have different opinions and you're caught out. Because a lot of my thing is paying a premium but getting a high-end finish, and anything that comes up is like an insurance, the builder will cover it. But because I did have contracts in place, because they weren't so precise, it leaves you open to people saying, well, I want that. They want a lot of extra things because they might as well, they're not paying for it. Whereas
I see.
if you've got things to protect yourself, okay, we've covered everything, we've got a contingency of 10-20%, but if something really unexpected comes up, it's going to be an extra charge. You can make a decision to what kind of level you want to go. Also, like people that you work with, partners, referral fees, different things are agreed, but when it comes down to it, get that invoice paid, you would think people would be smart enough to realise, well, pay that, get another more business. But some people are a bit short-sighted and think, oh, I don't want to pay that, and then because you've maybe got verbal agreements, written agreements, but not as detailed as you should.
Robust.
So that was a big one. But then when I went away on Christmas, New Year, on holiday, realised a couple of other big things. One was just like how much I'd changed as a person in the last year or two. When going back, seeing people I hadn't seen a while, going back to places I've not been and things. And one, like Cheryl, was definitely focus, because I was away on holiday and I started seeing all these opportunities, and I just thought there's money on the table here, so it's easy to make money here. But then when I came back, I thought, no, that's it's just focus. Like, there is so much opportunities to make money, but it's going to be less than your biggest focus, so best just focus on one big thing, you end up making much more. And other thing was not caring what people think. That is definitely one of, like, the biggest thing that determines your success. And when I was catching up, I didn't see my sister in 18 months, I didn't see some of my friends 3 years, 5 years, all these things, and it was nothing in them, but I just noticed how much I had changed, because certain days I do what I want, basically, and then some other people, you forget, they're a bit caught up in, I really want to do this thing, but I'm only if everybody else does it, or don't care what other person thinks.
See them getting carried along with the herd or whatever.
You just notice how much most people are caught up. They don't really realise it, it's not so obvious, but deep down people are caught up in, oh, I feel bad for leaving that person, or really care what this person thinks, or too caught up in other people rather than just thinking about themselves. And you have got to be selfish.
Cheryl, on that personal level, have you changed?
Yes.
You changed last year? Yep, that was quick. Yep, you've definitely seen it. Aye.
Yeah, and I know, just it's been a night and day change, you know, because it's obviously you're working on your mindset.
Right.
And I think obviously mindset is one of the biggest things that determine your success. And you just change the way you do daily life, you know, the way you speak, the way you act, and your habits and all that, they start to change.
Right.
And then you just become a more well-rounded person. And, you know, I've definitely changed in that area, and even like just going to the gym and stuff, that has a massive, like, just doing that can change your whole productivity of your day. For me anyway. So
just seeing all those connections. This is my physical part, but it's helped me with my business part and such. Right, okay.
And just,
so information.
So changed in pretty much all areas of my life.
Gavin, mindset, have you had a change?
Yeah, most definitely, and still changing.
Still changing, yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Systems and schedules is absolute key, I think, as well.
Right.
Trying to stick to a daily plan, you know, not getting distracted by social media or phone calls. I think that's definitely key as well. But yeah, definitely changed.
And it's for the better? You're happy with the change?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I want to change a few more things.
Right.
I want to get, you know, better systems in place, more schedules.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
And the lady with loads of schedules, Laura, all those businesses, all these cleaners everywhere. Something you share as well, the mindset thing?
Yeah, definitely. I would say I've probably always had quite a strong mindset, as in quite focused on what I want to do, but definitely it's grown over the last few years. Last year, I would say I'm quite brutal now as well with people. Like, I probably don't take prisoners as much. I used to kind of feel sorry for people, and I would listen to all their stories, like cleaners and stuff, and now I'm like, no, that's no one, that's it.
Right, okay.
So I would say and with my phone as well, I don't answer the phone. Like, I'll text, I'll maybe send a WhatsApp, but after tea time, I'm like, no, this is
right. So you're making sure your time is your time, doing things on your schedules, getting Gavin
as much as
schedules
possible. I mean, my husband might listen to this and say, "Do you talk absolute rubbish?"
Never off that phone.
I would say I would WhatsApp and text more than take phone calls at night.
Yeah.
Especially because I've got a family now as well. So
Exactly.
I don't really like to disturb that time.
Mm-hmm. But you won't be brutal with your business partners. I mean, Cheryl again is looking a bit nervous here. No, you're going to be okay. You're going to talk well.
95.
95. There you go, Cheryl. That's your understanding. Get one of Ross's contracts just to make it clear. Actually, see on that contract thing, you reminded me of something actually, just to share with the listeners. There's 2 podcasts round about now with Brian Wright, an accountant, tax advisor. And he's got a really cool thing we discussed on one of the shows where, you've got the contracts that lawyers are all over. We're doing this flip, or we're doing this service accommodation thing, so bang, 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 fair enough. But with everybody he works with, he's got a 2-page kind of contract, and it's called The Basis of Our Relationship. 2 pages, and he puts down, and it's really nice and simple, dead clear language, but it's like, this is what I'm expecting of you. And then on the other side, I don't know which way around this is what you should expect from me, because this is how I will behave. It was a really powerful thing, pretty cool, very clever. And he said since he's done that, there's been a dramatic change in how the clients deal with him and get the work in time, pay those invoices you were talking about, all this kind of stuff. So it's definitely something to check out. And in fact, I'm sure I actually took a scan of it. Yeah, I did, and we've shared that in the show notes. That's something for listeners to jump back on. Okay. So opinions and stuff.
The thing that a lawyer said
Ross.
as well was, okay, you've got the tight contract in place. Doesn't mean you have to stick to it exactly, but it protects you. If you don't have it, you're wide open. But if you do have it, you can be lenient. If it says that you don't cover, say, a cost of £500, you can always still say to the client, look, there's £500 extras came up. I'm happy to cover that.
Right.
But it means if you don't have it, then you've not got the choice.
Exactly. And then you see that
you've got £3,000 coming out.
Ouch! I wish I'd done that contract. It's just a nice safety net, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Aye, let's you play above it.
Yeah.
Okay. Interest rates, guys. Interest rates. The big fear with all these people with property. What's going to happen? All my lending, all my borrowing, and stuff like that. Are we going up? Are we going down? What's happening this year? What's the predictions? We can't say for certain. Just your gut feel.
I think they'll be stabilised in the moment. I think it will all change. With the coming months. I don't really try and look too far into it really, because you can get caught up in all the chit chat.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going to happen is going to happen. So there's not really much you can do about it.
Yeah.
Just try and go with the flow, as with what I'm trying to do. I think they'll raise slightly, and then I think they'll come back down.
Ah, really? Right, okay. Within the year, within the same calendar year?
I think it'll be the end of the year by the time they come back down.
Right, okay.
There's too many changes with the UK. For it not to fluctuate slightly.
Okay. So it might bump up another bit, but then you see it getting kind of pulled back.
Yeah, I think so, but that's my opinion.
Aye, that's all it is. That's all it is. Cheryl, what's under that cosy hat of yours? What's your brain saying?
Yeah, I don't think you can be certain about much these days in the UK, just with Brexit and everything that's happening. I don't think they'll go down. I think if anything they will rise. But I think for investors, we all know how to adapt to that.
Yes.
And I think that's the main thing. You need to calculate now for if they do go up in the future, so that when you're buying now, you're covered if they do go up. So I think it's just if you can protect yourself, then I don't think there's anything to worry about.
No, exactly. I like that. That's the mindset thing as well, isn't it? We're all geared up to make money when they're up, make money when they're down. Doesn't matter. Yep. Any thoughts, Laura? Any guesses?
I would say they probably maybe slowly rise, but the same as Cheryl, always do your calculations, always have your numbers, and kind of just put that in, maybe a few % up, and that way you're always covered.
That wee factor, just a wee kind of margin or whatever. Nice one. Ross, what's happening? And is Aberdeen going to come back again or not? You're one of the experts up there. They've took a big hit, the oil town, haven't they?
So, apart from putting the contingencies in place, like Aberdeen, you've extra contingencies, interest rate, fixing rates, and apart from having the contingencies, it's not something I pay attention to, because I feel it's out of my control.
Yeah.
Whether it goes up or down, there's opportunities both ways, and it's not the only thing, the big shift that I'm seeing that I'm paying a bit of attention to is the shift that I'm seeing, especially now, is in the financial industry, is the challenger banks and also technologies with apps. There's a lot of different things. I've I've just got a card that basically puts all your debit and credit cards into one, and then so you only have one card from now on.
Right.
And on the app, it shows you, tracks all your expenses, and then for up to 2 weeks you can actually change it. So say if you've paid something from your personal card, you've got 14 days to say, actually that should have came from a business card. You can do all this in the app. And then other things we challenge our banks is just being much more competitive, because they're more of an online model. I've just started a debit account with a bank that actually lets you withdraw money internationally with no fees, like no ATM fees or anything. And also, instead of giving the exchange rate in that country or your home country, it's like the actual online rate. It's much, you get a much better exchange rate, and also no fees, just because they're a new challenger bank. They've not got the same overheads that the big banks do.
Fantastic. Well, it's interesting. What is your thoughts on Aberdeen? Just when I mentioned that area. Because it was, a boom town for a long time, and we had loads of investors trying to focus there. Then it took a big hit, and
so on a graph it looks like it hit its lowest point, and it's been slowly rising.
Right.
But there's a lot on the market, and I can't see anything happening there I can't see it being back to the same levels for at least 2-3 years.
Is that right?
But it is really so tied to the oil price, which has went up for like the 40s to, I think it's around $75 now. So it has been rising recently, but
right.
because the oil companies didn't have so much accountability, people were spending all over the place and back charging, and didn't really have much accountability. The way they've changed, I don't see they'll ever be so reckless in their spending again.
Right.
So I don't see the wages are going to rise same, but you never know, because it is based supply and demand. And
yeah, people have these daft memories with things, haven't they?
Yeah.
You go through so many crashes and then we create another bubble.
But definitely I see things have been rising slowly, but I think a lot of what you see when you see others, it's changed, it's hit its lowest point, we're just improving. A lot of it is spent to
okay.
Because at the end of the day, you look in the market, there's still 100 comparable flats to choose from. There's still a lot of supply there.
Right, okay. And how's things in Manchester? How's that as a kind of general feel for the property market?
It's a very competitive area.
Is it?
Yeah, it's rising. The city, there's cranes and blocks going up everywhere.
Right.
But there's still plenty of opportunity there. I mean, the south part of Manchester is a lot different from the north. It's literally 100, maybe £200,000 difference from just
really
10-15 miles.
Is that right?
Yeah. So
wow.
it's there's a lot of competitive there. There's a huge amount of London investors that like to invest their money up there, because it's putting their money into a property, giving them an 8-10% return instead of it being in their bank.
Exactly, just wasting away, and they can't touch anything in London because of the prices anyway. So
there seems to be a fashion there at the moment between the London investors. So the investors are flooding in,
right?
Which
Okay.
is good. But in the same token, they're buying properties without doing the figures and buying them overpriced and pushing the market up.
So is it almost false then? Is it?
In a way, yes.
Yeah, because it is coming externally.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So the trend is now as well that all the estate agents are putting offers over, which wasn't a thing before, but now it's starting to come in.
Right, see, you're copying us again. What you like? And our two posh ladies in Glasgow, how would you tell the listeners about how things are there? What's your kind of views on the market and stuff? How's things bubbling along?
I would say there's definitely a lot up for sale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's getting more and more, so.
And you seen that just when Ross was touching upon the challengers when it comes to the banks, are you seeing it with the new kind of challenges from Purple Brixies and so on, or is it still the mainstream estate agents?
No, I would say Purple Bricks is pretty big.
Okay, Cheryl, what's your feeling in the market and stuff in the Glasgow area?
I think Glasgow will always be a great area. I think there will always be demand. There's various sides of the city that I think will always be good. You've got the West End. I don't think that's ever going to go down. Various areas in the south side, and then there's upcoming areas as well. And I think there's, even out with those areas, there's still good properties there, probably where people wouldn't think of touching.
Right.
And I think it will always be a good area, and right now there's great opportunity, I think.
I think there's definitely opportunity, you just need to look.
Yeah.
And you need to know your numbers.
You need to know, so due diligence, gold mine area expert, all those classic things we always talk about.
I mean,
Okay.
even though there's like a shortage of supply in Glasgow and a lot of things go over home report value, when you look at a wider market in Scotland, Glasgow is still lower priced than comparable a lot of areas of Scotland.
Of course.
Edinburgh, Aberdeen, Aberdeenshire, Inverness. You look at comparable property here is still a lot lower priced. And so one thing I've been doing with one of my clients is looking at, okay, you can get a big discount, but for your long-term lifetime portfolio, they're looking at, I've identified most highest growth areas for long-term, for lifelong, and although you can get 20-30 grand, which is 20-30% for these 100 grand properties, just now, if you look over a lifetime, that's, once it doubles a few times, that 20 grand suddenly becomes a lot smaller. So perhaps instead of concentrating on just the flats at like a big BMV, look at more lifetime and how there's some areas that are very affluent but they're still ex-council houses, 100k mark, and when you look at that area, how good it is compared to the rest of Scotland, how much lower priced it is, there's so much more room for it to grow. Like, I don't see how things can go much lower here, whereas the rest of the UK, you look at Aberdeen's, it can have a drop.
Sure.
You look in England, you look at South, you look at London, there is big potential for drops when you get a change in the economy.
And it's a bit more erratic there as well then, so you see places like Glasgow a bit more stable or predictable, or...
Yeah, I'm getting like a few clients, and a lot of my clients now are from more London.
Have they?
Been a bit of a drop there, but when somebody's got 250k or 500k in London in cash, they feel they've not got any money. They think, what can I do here? I can buy a one bedroom flat.
That's right.
But in Scotland, they come up, we get a portfolio on day one, 5 properties, cash bought, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Also for international investors, whether it's people that are they're from other countries, they're bringing money into UK, or they're perhaps from UK but working abroad, getting paid in dollars or other currencies, perhaps based in the Middle East. There's a massive opportunity for them right now, because when you get, say, 20%, 30% discount on a property, that's all great, but for them it could be 50%, because the pound is so weak right now that when you're bringing it in, you've got a huge gain that if the pound does rise in the future to levels it was at before compared to the euro and the dollar and the yen and things, that you've got an extra 20%, 25% there
to play with. Yeah,
so
totally.
You're getting so much more for your money. And my sister's been working in Australia, she's going to Asia now, that going over there you get much less spending power, but if when you're earning there, you can do so well when you convert your money back to pounds.
Right, use it
Get
back really.
Yeah, when you are looking long term.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you always do in property if it's buy-to-let portfolio.
Superb. Right, I'm going to ask these guys what their one focus is going forward now, because I want to be respectful of their time. They're here to play, they're here to have fun, they're here to work as well at this Platinum event. So Gavin, going forward, what's your thing? What's the number one target you're chasing? Is it the buy to flip thing you mentioned earlier? Is it something else within that?
The buy to flip and the package deals, I will be concentrating solely on that. I would like to do a slight dabble in the R2Rs as well.
Right, okay.
They're starting to look, prosperous. So I would like to go that way as well. But the key word is what you've already said: focus.
Focus.
Very hard to focus.
So many shiny objects.
Keep focused. Yeah. don't fall off the beaten path. Just keep focused.
Brilliant. And Cheryl?
So for clients, the focus is first time buyers and the mortgage free strategy, and for myself it will be buy to flips this year.
Right, excellent. So if we've got some first time buyers just listening in and stuff, we okay to hook up with you and just ask you any questions and stuff? Perfect, they can see all your details in the show notes. And the lady building the service accommodation empire, taking over Scotland, what are we up to?
Yeah, just growing the amount of units that we've got and filling them.
Right.
Because if you're not filling them, then they're not paying for themselves.
Yes.
So.
And is what area? All within Glasgow still? Or are you thinking elsewhere?
No, we are thinking about expanding. But,
are you?
Probably not for maybe 6 months. But
right.
definitely. Well, we've got a few opportunities that are arising out with Glasgow within the next few months, but they're not set in stone yet. So.
Right. Have you got enough cleaners to cope with this? Does that need to grow as well?
Need to grow that
oh
as well.
My goodness! Right, we'll have a kind of a topic called stressed out later on in the year, and we'll bring you back on, right? Because that sounds like great fun. And Ross, you're taking over Asia, Australia, Aberdeen. I can't remember the other areas. What's your main focus going to be?
So in the background, I'll be doing a lot of my own projects, and I'll be working with a select few people and our hands-free portfolio building, and a select few people in advanced strategies and property investment as a coaching and mentoring role in a private group. But I say my more biggest focus is on like first time buyer group, because I don't feel it. I know that once you start speaking to first time buyers, you forget how incompetent a lot of the industry is. With the people that most people generally go to for advice, not just friends and family, but estate agents, mortgage brokers, solicitors, all these people that they see as experts and professionals, a lot of the time they haven't done it for themselves that much. Maybe they've bought their own home, but they've not got experience in doing multiple transactions over years for themselves, which is a lot different. They can't think creatively and they just know the most traditional routes. So that is a big passion of mine, is helping a lot of people that think they can't afford to get in the market, and also all the people that have got any more creative help in their financing. I spoke to the guy that week that people had turned him down, and for me it was just easy because they weren't thinking, it was just different.
Exactly. You couldn't see that. You didn't know. You don't know what you don't know.
The person had a big successful business. It had a couple £100,000 deposit, which was equating to like 30-40%, and people are knocking them back because you've not got your 3 years accounts. But there is financiers out there that a year is fine. Yeah. Things like that.
These simple things, and if you know them, if you've got the right person, you've got a connection.
Easy for you, but if somebody goes to a general estate agent or mortgage broker, say, if they tell them no, a lot of people just think, well, they're an expert, they know better than me, I'll just give up.
That's the end of my road.
But estate agent's not bought 50 properties.
Yeah.
He's never got to have that experience.
Excellent, great stuff. I'll let these. What's that?
Probably will piss off a lot of the property industry.
No, you wouldn't do that, would you? On purpose?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll pick it up the right way. If not, they know how to get you. Right, I'll let these guys and girls go and get a coffee and get some work done. Thanks a lot for your time. Hi folks, it's Richard here again. I really hope that you enjoyed today's show. Now listen, I've got 2 links to help support you on your property journey, and I want you to write these down when it's safe to do so. You might be driving in your car just now listening to the podcast, and that's fine, but please make sure that you get back to this and write down these links. Okay, are you ready? Got your pen in hand? So the first one, thisweekinproperty.com. Now that's the website for this podcast. On there, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so that you don't miss out. What you can also do on there is catch up on tons and tons of past episodes. There are hours and hours of property related content and some amazing guests with some fantastic insights to help you on your property journey. So that is thisweekinproperty.com. Okay, next link, propertyprotege.com. Now let me spell that one out for you. PROPERTY PROTEGE. That's propertyprotege.com. Now what's it all about? Well, the Property Protege Intensive is designed to give you the lift that you need into the world of property. And if you've already started, if you've already got some experience, then this can help you accelerate your progress even further. The experiences that people have had at Protege and the success that they've achieved afterwards has been life-changing for many people. So go there right now if you're serious about property and if you want to build a highly successful property business. That's propertyprotege.com. So there you go. That's 2 links to some fantastic resources that are going to help you. And listen, talking about help, can you help me to help other people? You see, the more that we can share this podcast, then more people can learn from the fantastic guests that I've been so lucky to talk to. How can you help? Well, it's very simple and very quick. Just a short review on iTunes is going to help make that happen. If you go to thisweekinproperty.com/iTunes, that will guide you to the very place that you will be able to help other people. So thank you. Thanks for doing that, and thanks for listening into the show. And I look forward to bringing another great guest to you in the next show.